Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final finale for this table and the penultimate episode for the entirety of this little fun project of a tale of two tables that we've had going on for Sentai and Sensibility. I am TR Grimm. We have a lot to do, not that much time to do it in. So we're going to very quickly go around the horn and pick ourselves right back up where we left off with the perilous, is I think a fair term, situation that we left the Knights in last time. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start with X. You go ahead and start us off and we'll just popcorn around you real quick.
Hi, I'm XL, maybe sometimes. My pronouns are he, him, as are my characters Jax the Fae LaFay, also known as Jax Welcome Down LaFay, also known as Jax Put 'em on a T-shirt LaFay. Matt.
All right. Thank you.
Matt's down there for me.
Yes, I'm catching it.
Hey.
I'm Matt. He, him. I'm playing Chin, Huang, he, they, trying his best to earn a sword with everything he's got so he can finally go home to Alice with all the years he's been given. And I'm going to pass it over to Kian.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. I use any and all pronouns. I am playing Avery Kaparis, who, despite what some people at this table might think, has never done anything wrong in his entire life. And I'll pass it over to JT.
I'd like it on the record that some people at this table is Kian. I'm JT. My pronouns are they, them. And tonight, for the final time, I will be playing the saddest man in London, Carlisle Vicori. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much. So, we left off with Chen in the sky, the rest of you on the ground. Chen relaying that you guys had a problem as a roar that shook the very trees around you, causing the ground to rattle and break in the roots. As even in this dark-topped canopy blocked out by the sun, it somehow grows even darker as the looming form of the Paradox Rex Wyvern Machina looms over you all. As the Paradox King, Excalibur in hand, one still rested over the altar, holding, now at this point, physically holding it back from trying to get to Chin, said, "My turn." You guys have one round before he joins in with his Machina, and you don't know what's going to happen when he does that. What do you do?
Not everybody at once now, please.
All right. You guys have a 3-minute timer. If it's not 3 minutes, he's going in the Machina. Go.
Right, so Grim, Cass made us roll for something between sessions.
Yes.
I was wondering if Carlisle, in their infinite wisdom, could do something they don't normally do and press on the magic behind this guy to learn his name.
How would you like to do that?
My mental justification is that banshees are creatures of justice and bringing justice to those who have done wrong. I need to know their name to do that. So I think Carlisle's track is there has to be a way for me to press on this
Yep.
to learn that information.
You are using magic that while now is innate to you, it is not magic you were born with. I would call it a vigor, but for you that's just a hero
Yes.
with disadvantage.
Yeah. I'm prepared for this. I'm not prepared for this. I have only one D4 out.
No
I'm
juice.
afraid I'm gonna spend it. No juice.
Oh,
You can
Don't do
try
this
again.
to me.
You can try again next round.
Yeah, fair enough.
With your whalers, this is a big boon if you get this name. So that's one. Timer's still ticking. What are you guys doing? This wasn't until first action. You guys had 3 minutes before he gets in the mech. Come on, let's move.
I mean, from up in the skies by my machina, can I call out to Excalibur, or am I too far?
No, there's not a limit. You've forged that initial link. There is no limit at this point. You can be as far as you want away. You could be on the moon, and you could still try to make that pull.
Sick. Okay, yeah, that's what Chin's gonna be trying.
Hey, Chin.
Yo.
You want to make a deal?
Always. Yes.
You have a lot of years given to you.
Mm-hmm.
Per decade of life you sacrifice, I will give you 1 success towards your total.
Okay. I will sacrifice 80 years for 8 successes.
So, remember there was that joke about how Chin was only going to live to 43?
Yeah.
Would you like to know what's funny?
Hmm.
If nothing kills you, do you know when you're going to die now?
When?
43.
I'll snap. Okay, I'll take it.
As you feel those years, and it's that moment where you have proven to Excalibur you have the will, and you hear the word in your head. But will you sacrifice?
Yes. Oh, always. That's what a king must do. A king that rules over their kingdom doesn't foist that sacrifice upon others. The king bears the burdens and sorrows of their people, as I will right now.
What does it feel like to lose 80 years of potential?
I think that Chin, when he does this, there's this feeling of conviction, but he also sees, just in his periphery, it's almost like a slideshow of the years that he could have spent with Alice. He sees a moment of being with Alice with maybe a couple kids. He sees a moment being with Alice as they're starting to grow old together, seeing their kids go off doing whatever they want. He sees a moment where the two of them might struggle a little bit to get up a hill, but they're always there to help each other. And those moments are sliding away in his periphery into darkness.
And there's this moment for the 3 of you down below. You see Excalibur shake and start to pull and rattle in the Paradox King's hand. This glow of going down. And Chin, tell me, Matt, what is it like for Chin to realize that pyrite can in fact turn to gold?
I think Chin recalls a moment back in the day when he was young, a game that he used to play on his own, sometimes with Alice, but it was called If I Were King for a Day. And he would dream up of all the things that he would do. First off, making her knight and making sure people would be fed, making sure the nobleman across the street that was kind of mean would get his comeuppance. He thinks about those things, and now he feels this responsibility on his shoulders. He feels that all those things were so trivial compared to what lies before him now. And he bows, I'd say both literally and figuratively in his head, to Excalibur in a gesture of acceptance. This is the burden I'll bear.
One last question for you as on the ground. Excalibur doesn't leave, it's being held on too tight, so it shatters. For Chin, what does the sword of a king look like to Chin?
Okay. I've got an idea. Let me know if this is too wild. But I think for Chin that these pieces, if they fly up to him, rather than forming a specific weapon, they start at his shoulders and start to create pauldrons, start to create a breastplate. The entire, essentially, his entire body is being encased in not gold as he might have thought once upon a time. Now it's all about function. Now it's all about what a warrior king would wear. It's simply metal, steel, so that he can ride into battle and bear the burdens, be the defense that his kingdom needs.
That is, I think, something that is so intrinsically the Chen that could only exist by going through everything that he has gone through this entire season. And for the rest of you on the ground, there's this momentary pause as there's just shock on the Paradoxus King's face. And then there's this almost unworldly growl coming from him, and you see the armor cracking almost bestially, as it's almost as if he's taking on more of these wyvern-like traits. The sharpest nose here would go to, without a doubt, X. Especially now, more than ever, you know what one of Maximov's poisons smells like. That underlying deep, earthy scent of magic that's almost rot, but not quite. And it feels like this, whatever just happened, one of those potions was at the heart of it. And as he shifts and growls, you see that on the arm that you could have sworn you tore off back in your time, Jax. You see that fall away as this almost in a mockery of a dragon, wyvern-like clawed appendage folds out of what was obviously some sort of fey magic and alchemic mess of using stone and bone and rot to puppet a limb that was removed.
One of those, like, closed mouth, like, deep throat growls comes from Jax. And the moment that he sees this, it's a straight up blitz. Like, I'm right next to him, and a huge fist right at his gut.
Straight vigor. There's no more stacking disadvantage against you guys now. The fight's on for real. Proceed to whoop his ass, please.
It's a 5.
So yeah, it is a juggling uppercut. As you come in low with that speed blitz, you get him low and you just rocket him straight up. And it is full on that momentary pause as you make contact before there's that air cushion in his body, doubles over on the punch before he is launched into the air. As he goes up, you see that the armor is still falling off of him. We're feeling this ever more growing in chin. You can see it as he breaks through the clouds. This maw of black and golden glass horns fusing in as the snout elongates, wings breaking the armor. As he starts going back into a tumble, he's still not able to catch himself as a long, razor-tipped, poisoned tail seems to start arching out from his back. Who has the next move on him?
I think it's me. Help me paint me a picture. Can I reach this guy, or is he like up in the air?
He is. I mean, how good are your hops? Your jump game good?
I think better than average.
Better than average?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so this dude is just currently broken back, is in the process of free falling back through the canopy of this old growth forest. He's still up there. But I think if you got a really good roll on footwork, you could get yourself up there.
Can I help? Is it a thing I can do?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you can
like-
boost. Yeah, you can boost. 100% you could give a boost for an advantage on this.
I was just talking to somebody about Advent Children, the terrible Final Fantasy movie, and there's
Leave
that
that
scene
alone.
at the end.
You leave that movie alone.
I love it. I love that movie, but it's
You leave my
terrible.
garbage alone. Avery, you leave my garbage alone.
But I'm thinking of that scene right at the end where they're all just like lining up and tossing Cloud through the air.
Yep.
That's kind of what I'm picturing. Yes, I will absolutely take Jack's help. I think that seeing Avery, like, there's this hesitation at first because we established last time that I brought something back with me from
Correct.
whatever dimension I was in. I don't know what it is, but I have it
Correct.
with me. I think
It
there's
is still there.
Okay.
It is still there. That was not really to Excalibur. That one was just whoever the Paradox King is.
I think that there's this pause of like, should I figure out what the fuck this is? And then seeing Jax make contact and like it actually doing damage, it's just back to like, now we're gonna brawl. Like that's where we're at this point. So I will absolutely use Jack's assistance to launch myself up there.
Yeah,
and
take
I think
that advantage.
Which one? I'm sorry, say again.
Has to take that advantage.
Okay.
Just for a flavor, it's like a wing comes out from his human form, and that he like sort of uses for like a ramp for you. And as you get to the very top, he flings you up with it.
I'm rolling footwork.
Yep.
Success. That's a 3.
Perfect. Yeah, you are up there. What is it that you're wanting to do with them? What is it? Yeah.
I spin the blade in my hand and just kind of slice it upward, kind of just to cut. Wait, which way? He's falling backwards?
He's in the middle of spin. He is about to catch himself.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna slash out. Whatever catches the blade, that's his problem. That's not my problem.
Valid. Roll me a dueling real quick. Again, straight roll.
That is a success. That's a 4.
Fuck yeah. So you will go out into the spin, and it is very much how I'm picturing it. Just one of those, just pure faith. Just like I'm a spin, kind of those eye closed as you do the rollover. Whatever happens, happens.
Mm-hmm.
And you catch him right as those wings go to pop, and you cut the flaps. Is almost bat-like in nature. You cut the flaps of one wing, and you feel the cut blade nick the edge of the second wing. As you make your way down, grounding him as he lands hard. He lands in a 3-point stance as he just growls, looming back up. He is larger now. As he goes, fine. I guess we'll do it my way. As he takes one step back into the shadows, 2 steps back into the shadows, and you hear that wyvern mecha roar again.
That seems like a problem. Y'all still got y'all's?
Yeah. And Chin is going to gesture as he's floating next to his.
My horse
Nice
doesn't
digs.
fly.
It's fine. Have y'all made the big one yet? I don't remember. Memory's kind of fuzzy. It's been 80 years.
We made it once, but it barely worked.
We'll see if it works with mine. We'll see if he's awake. And I'll hold a hand out and will, because it's 80 years ago. So I don't know if this guy's out here. Because 80 years ago I had Leviathan. And so but this old Jax has a different. So he reaches out, he puts a hand on the ground and says, all right, buddy, see if you can work for me one more time. And he will hopefully connect to his earth dragon.
You feel that tendril of magic slide and shift through the earth. It hits and coils. You're you, but you're not you. Who are you? To call
An
on
old,
me.
an old friend or new friend. For you, I'm new.
No, you're old. One more time. I think we have one more time.
Let's do it.
And because of your connection and experience being translated intrinsically to your own machina, what would an 80 years of experience Leviathan look like?
I think it's like usually when you've seen your Jax do this, there's like a rumble of water and comes from the sea and flies out and comes and sort of almost swims through the air. But this one, you feel the earth start to tremble as it cracks open and this trench in front of us forms. And a big claw comes out. Almost, it's not quite metallic. It feels like it should be metallic, but it's earth metal more so than anything else, if that makes sense. And climbing out of the trench is this large earth dragon, with like yellow eyes, and instead of like breathing out like smoke, there's dust that comes out of its mouth. All right, where's y'all's?
Carlisle summoned his last time.
As did Chin, just flying above the mechanized Arctic tern.
I think that's just Avery. Avery did not last time. We'd established Avery's original colors were more in the lilac purple variety, had transitioned into this ivory situation, kind of very pale, very washed out. I think that when Avery goes to summon their mech, it there's this just came to me. Avery takes a couple of steps back from the group, and shadows kind of start to spread out from around them. And there's this large, gaping, sort of swirling shadow. And out of it, just there's nothing graceful about it. It's very visceral. It's like ripping itself up through the shadow, kind of peeling itself away. The flying fox mech starts to come out of the shadow. And by the time it's fully standing, like the proportions are just a little bit off. It looks a little uneven. It looks a little unsteady. Um, but I think Avery feels more comfortable with it now than they ever have before, as it comes to stand next to him.
Is it a little symbiote?
I think so.
Just a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, go ahead and put yours together.
So because we've talked about how all of the other ones would come together. Old Jackson's here now with a different.
Yeah, we got two new ones.
Wonderful. Matt, you tell us how it comes together.
Tell us how it comes together, Mr. Excalibur.
Do you?
King, my king, captain, my captain.
How about I start with like one section and then y'all can build on that? If that's cool with y'all.
Let's do that. Let's do it. Go ahead.
I think that Chin in his Arctic turn machina is going to fly down, and you're going to see this elegant mechanized bird start to shift its wings. I would say like perpendicular to how they normally would be, and adjust into a shield, and the rest of its body extends into a pure steel arm, extending out to be the shield of the machina. Of if are y'all cool with the name? Are y'all cool with the name I pitched? Okay, with the broken watch machina. And I'd say probably as a part of this shield, you would see like forming in the middle of it a pocket watch. You would see, of course, in Roman numerals, 12, and of course all the other numbers. And then as soon as this arm and shield have finished forming, you would see a crack down this watch.
Quick question. Is it called the Broken Watch because it's only right twice a day?
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
part of the
that's
reason.
100% correct.
Just making sure. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Are you
Just
in the chat?
confirming.
Are you in the chat? Like, are you like ghost watching the chat? Like, what's happening?
No, no. Me? No. No.
I'll take it from there if we can. So I think what'll be fun here is I got an idea for how this thing could fly, and like shifting stone, like when you see there's this one movie that it happens in that I can't quite think of, but it's like this like almost these like rocks that shift and spread and do all these other things as this machina starts to transform into these pair of legs. One wing shifts down and shrinks as a lot of the material that makes up for the stone of it spreads to other places, and the other wing follows and shrinks and shifts down as the arms of this dragon, this earth dragon, um, combine with its legs, and it shifts into a pair of legs with wings on the feet. Shout out Namor. um, and sort of there's this like sword that is made from stone and earth and metal that sort of forms on the hip as it waits to be um, combined with the rest of the machina.
I think the Carlisle's Machina is just a regular like clockwork horse. Like it's a very ordinary horse compared to most other Machinas. But I do think it sort of leaps atop this new beast as it begins to take formation, and the horse begins to sort of unfurl out the clocks and gears, ticking and turning into two very large steamwork cannons that resemble Carlisle's revolver right on its backs. Complete, of course, with a little seat to pilot the weapons in.
The bat adjacent shape that Avery's Machina has taken kind of slinks back into the ground, and the whole pool of shadow rolls forward, and starting from the left leg kind of rolls up. And as it passes each point where one Machina meets another, it leaves a part of itself kind of wrapping and refastening and molds itself to fit and fill all of the empty spaces that it needs to. Um, so it doesn't look it's I'm almost picturing at the beginning of, well, not the beginning, but whatever. At the In the Princess Mononoke, when the poison has taken the boar god at the very beginning, the way that it's all of these smaller pieces and they all kind of grow into one. But it's kind of leaving bits of itself down so that by the time it gets to its final shape and its final position, it's smaller than it was when it started, but has kind of solidified the whole shape of the Machina.
That's a
So cool.
cool ass description. I'm not even gonna fucking lie.
So cool. Yeah.
It is a perfect representation of you guys as a group. It is. As you guys form and move forward, who here has watched Zoids out of curiosity? Just Cass? Cool. So there's this. So does anyone know what I mean when I say what a Zoid is? Rough idea of what it is. Gundam animal, kinda.
Oh, okay. Cool. Got you.
Yeah. So there's this monster. There's this Zoid called Sniper Tail, and its entire gimmick is it's a raptor that turns into a giant sniper rifle by making the entire tail and body going into a straight line. You guys take that step forward. Go ahead and roll to block God, what would the weight of this thing probably be in realistic terms? Hold on. Probably this has to be a 24-inch round minimum. As you bring this shield up, who's rolling? Who's rolling for? It's Chin, so it would have to be Chin rolling for defense.
All right, let's go.
I believe in you.
What am I rolling?
So you have Excalibur,
Mm-hmm.
which will make this not at disadvantage for you.
Sick.
Go ahead and give me a. Okay, you have two options here.
All right.
Do you want to just tank it with the shield, or do you want to try and deflect it off?
Oh, I want to deflect it off. Like if I could get
Okay.
a good angle.
So yeah, that'd be
it'll
a
raise.
straight. That'd be just a straight dueling roll for me then.
All right. I'm using a juice. I'm
Believe
using
me,
the juice that
very good
Cass
idea.
gave
got
me.
this.
It's a very good idea.
You got this.
Okay, 4.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, force the pass. So as you come in, and the sound is like nothing any of you have ever heard. Everything this guy is pulling out is stuff from the 20th century when it comes to military prowess and power-wise. This is all nightmare fuel for those of you who have been in the Napoleonic War, which is all of you. This is nightmare fuel. As this just, because you've all heard artillery before. This is harrowing. As it's just this boom. And you see the very trees just rattle, and the ones closest to the venting on this thing, as it clink, 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 unfurls the tail back off as the cannon disassembles itself. As it looms back up again, you see that the trees around it from just the blowback are now on fire. Well, let me see. I know some of this. And one of the wings pops up, and this pool of black shadows drips from under the wing into the ground. And you pops up in the other wing doing the same. And you can hear this almost unholy sound coming from these shadows as lashing in and around, binding and pulling up, coated in almost like a dark ichor, a large wolf like machina, and a corrupted black stag of a machina are yanked from times that are not this one. And you hear Grand Paradox Rex Final Ascension. As the giant wyvern machina unfolds itself and forcibly fuses these machina that do not exist in this world to it. As it slowly twists and turns, almost as if through some dark magic that really shouldn't work. One of you know what Baylor's magic feels like. Two of you, I think. Two, Cass? Or is it just the one? 2?
Just one.
Just one. For the one of you that knows what Baylor's magic feels like, this is uncorrupted, straight magic from Baylor. This is the kind of thing from the stories you've all heard. The kind of world-shifting, matter-defying bullshit that made Baylor such a hard enemy to fight. You're beginning to realize that he didn't need Excalibur. Excalibur was just the easy way of doing things. As putting itself together in almost this very much mockery of a knight, this whole black vizier, large stag antlers, and a horn of the wyvern's crowns on this full, flat, T-shaped helm leading to broad shoulders, the wings of the wyvern now nothing more than a cloak as the woven arms, the split, almost viscerally torn apart machina fused to the sides to create the arms, hold the spear, which was once the wyvern's tail, in one hand, and a sword made from the remains of the elk in the other, as it points the lance towards the lot of you, and you see that is a perfectly rifled barrel. Welcome, then. Claim it.
If I may.
Of course.
Jax from one of the seated positions inside the Machina will go. You know something? Paradox King. Something about paradoxes. A lot of the times they invalidate themselves. And the legs will the like sort of earth dragon, so to speak, that makes up the legs will the stone will shift and grasp onto with its feet chunks of the earth underneath.
Okay.
And the legs will kick and then kick if I may, 2 chunks of earth. This is mostly just for flavor. It's one attack, but 2 chunks of earth
Sure.
at the paradox
Sure,
King
100%.
Machina's face.
Roll me a dueling.
I'll let you boy. That is a 9 on the die.
That is too much.
Can I juice it?
You may juice it.
We're juicing.
Remember, everybody,
Everybody, we're
one
juicing.
juice per roll, just so you know.
Wow, that's a big old 1. We went from one side to the other.
The honor does not get it to you on this one. I am sorry. You go in, and they both go, and it's a sidestep, but he's closed. This thing should not be as fast as it is. The proportions should tell you this thing should be slow and chunky, and you're supposed to be able to hit it, but it's just be able to tank the hits. But it's fast, and it dodges around and in, using that time between the kicks to close the gap as it goes. Who is controlling the Machina to cause either an evasion or being able to tank the thrust of the gun lance? Or a redirect if you want to use the cannons. Like there's options here. However you guys want to do to either get yourself or distract away from this gun lance slamming straight center of mass and unloading directly into you guys, which would not be fun even in the Machina. I promise.
I don't mind doing it again, but I'll leave the floor open to my fellow players here.
I think it makes sense for Avery to do this, but I also, can I suss out, is whatever I took back with me, is it doing anything? I getting any signals? Is it talking to me?
Sure, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one for free. It is currently... There are some parasites that when they find a host, they latch on the inside, form a protective shell around themselves, and then go dormant for the right time. As you mentally probe at this thing, it is burrowing into your psyche to wait.
Avery has this very brief, like, we don't got time to think about that. Uh, and I am going to go for, I think, evasion. I think I'm going to try to get us out of the way.
Okay.
Is that footwork?
That'd be a footwork. Are you just going to be like tentacle latching and pulling yourself out of the way on the back or something?
I think this is
Give it to me.
It's kind of funny to Avery. I think Avery would get a kick out of it. This thing is aimed right at us, and it's almost like cat in a bathtub vibes, where you're like stretched out and you've got all your limbs, and all of the limbs just shrink up into one spot. Avery just yanks, pulls everybody close to yank us all out of the way.
And it's the drop as you guys realize that those very strong legs that your machina is built on are literally yoinked up off of the ground, and you feel yourself drop. All of you feel about a good 4 or 5 seconds of 0G as there's this just momentary hover, and then the drop happens.
Oh, that's a 3.
That hit it. So yeah, you hit it. You hit the roll. So I would have let you with that get out of the way successful. The footwork was to see if you were going to be in a position to keep moving or not on the other end of it. So you would have dodged the first attack either way. The 3 lets you dodge the follow-up attack with the sword. As you as much more nimbly than any of you think that the original version with the original Flying Fox would not be able to pull the move that Avery just had the Machina, your Colossus, do. But with that ability to now have this almost more organic movement because of those filled-in spots, because of these aspects of how this Colossus as a whole now fits and operates and is in sync. There's this almost very natural, almost like southeastern martial arts meets capoeira, bit of a spin drop into a kick back up again. And the kick knocks the sword away that was coming in for a strike. The Paradox King shifts his machina out of the way, dodging the rest of the kick, but the two of you spiral back around each other, back, facing off again. You can see that something is starting to where this much probability should not be in this kind of position. Jax, you're starting to feel a little off too. This isn't blood loss. You know what blood loss feels like. You remember that moment of non-existent infinity of which when you were flying through the portal to come back to this time?
Ooh, that feels nasty. I think I might be leaving y'all soon.
There is a wrench as all of this shadow magic and power fluctuates back, recoursing in on itself as he goes. You guys have one more round to try and finish him. And if all of you get a hero, you might actually have a chance to do it. If all of you get a hero, you might actually have a chance to finish him off before he goes back to the other table. If not, what happens to the other table happens to the other table. It's not on your guys' hands at this point.
Me at the other table.
Who wants first crack?
Don't suppose I can probe at that name while we're dancing and prancing.
You haven't done anything in a while. I will give you one free roll.
Wow. Still at disadvantage or no longer because he doesn't have Excalibur protecting him?
He doesn't have Excalibur protecting anymore. It's no longer a disadvantage.
Oh, baby, that's a 4.
That's your
Thank
hero?
Christ.
Nice.
The name
Awful.
is Charles Marlove.
I think Carlisle just says out loud to everyone, I need an opening. As they conjure a cannonball-sized whaler with the name Charles Marlove printed on it.
And what happens on the face of your shield with the broken watch? Tick, tick, tick. It is not counting, but it's not counting forwards. It's counting backwards to midnight. You have until that clock strikes midnight to get this shot off, which would line up with all of you doing one action.
Do I feel, since I've kind of latched onto everybody, do I feel like something is trying to separate Jax from us?
It's not separate as much as just fading away.
If somebody else has an idea, go ahead. That changed my answer.
Jax will say to everybody, in a moment of like sentimentalness that I guess like is starting to become more usual for younger Jax, but is not at all usual for old Jax. um, but he will say to everybody, 80 years it's been since I've seen y'all. I have to say it's good fighting with y'all one more time. I don't quite remember what happened to y'all in the future. Things are fuzzy. But one last time, let me be y'all's shield. And if I may, I'm gonna throw a thing out here.
Okay.
Jax will leap from the Machina. And with all the magic he can form, will try to grow as big as he can. Not to attack, not to do anything but hold the Paradox King so that they can.
So, one thing that I've not been great about in this game on my table, and I wish I would have been better about, was Queen's Favor. And Jax LaFay, in this moment, you have most definitely earned a Queen's Favor. So not only can you do this, if you want to cash this in now, you can do this with advantage.
I will do it right now.
Straight vigor roll with advantage. Hero?
It's a 7 and a hero.
You got your hero. So, would you like this, or would you like for me to do it?
If I may. So I think he almost like the chest of the Machina opens up for a moment as he looks to you all and gives one last salute. It's always been an honor.
Yes,
You
General.
Never change, Shin. And he'll step out, and I think his leg will just extend so that it's larger first, and he just kind of coast along without falling. The other leg comes down and grows, and he's turning into a dragon at this moment in time. And the sort of flash step happens. If anyone's seen JJK when Toji showed up again, and he was just like right there, it happens, and it's a hook underneath the arm, and then I'll clasp hands with them on that one, and then the same thing with the other arms, clasping hands, and I'll lean forward, like right to the neck, like I'm about to kiss it, and be like, "Shall we dance, Charles?"
Question, just to make sure I'm doing this right. You are using all of your potential for magic, every ounce you have in you, to do this.
Gave up 80 years. I can give up some potential.
In this
Mhm.
moment, you are the single largest dragon that Britain has ever known. You put your grandmother to shame size-wise. You can feel that this is going to cost you later. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This is going to cost you a little bit. But in this moment, you are the purest personification of where the four elements meet in England. You are where the fire and the air dance, where the shore and the mountain meet. You are where it all balances together in confluence, and you have no issue holding this out of time monstrosity in place. Carlisle. One shot.
One shot. One big cannon.
One big cannon. Don't miss. Dueling, which means for you,
It's all but guaranteed, except for one number, I think, officially. Not that it matters. That's a 3.
perfect. This bullet goes. The whaler fires, and in this moment, as it makes contact, there is a rip torn in reality that sucks that centers around where this shot lands, and in that moment there's a break, and on the other side you see, what does Afa look like she's doing right now?
That's a great question. I think Aoife, you all see her falling out of the corpse of Baelor, which she has been using as her own giant mech to fight another group of heroes. So she's plummeting to the ground.
And the magic catches, and in the moment both the corpse of Baelor, the falling Aoife, and the wrapped together Jax and this monstrosity of a colossus swap in time and space. Been a pleasure.
And as they swap, Aoife plummets to the ground and lands with a little crater on the table where all of you once, not too long ago, actually only about a year, swore oaths to protect this land. What do you do?
Did young Jax come back with this?
Well, here's a question for you, X. Did he? Because I
Don't do that
will
to me.
offer this to you right now, that if you think old Jax died in the transition, getting Charles back. Or, I mean, you expended a lot of magic. So you have two options here. Old Jax dies doing that, or you in this moment can permanently choose to switch them. So old Jax goes back in time and young Jax goes forward. I could leave you with that choice.
That's crazy, first off.
Sure is.
That is absolutely insane. So yes, we'll take that.
Well, I mean, okay, to be clear, they could just switch. So you have three options here. They just switch. Old Jax dies at the end of the other fight. And the other three finish off Charles. Or you swap-a-roo and old Jax stays at this table and young Jax stays at the other table.
This is crazy.
I know.
I
gave you
this is
three
such a
options.
big decision.
Choose wisely.
Oh, the most chaotic option would be to have them switch.
Do it.
Why do you think I offered it to you,
Do
bro?
it.
Because,
Do it.
oh, you know what? Fuck it, we ball.
Give Adam no growth
Oh,
jacks.
brother.
Give Adam no growth jacks to work with.
Grim, quit influencing the decision. Mute yourself.
Listen, no, I support it. No, I'm hearing this. And consequences will probably be had. Let's go. Let's do this.
Look at the 80 years you get back at the other table.
How does that work, though?
Paradox King. He
But
fucked
let's
with time.
go.
Okay,
Let's do it.
so
Old Jax stays
old
in the past.
Jax starts to disappear. And instead, what happens to Jax's dragon form as all of the magic allowing him to maintain this form is sucked through time away from him? What is left of Jax without all of the Fey magic
Got two
that
questions.
he had finally accepted?
Is this returning him into before, or is this like completely stripping away the Fey?
You are completely mortal now.
The old form of him stays. The grayed sides, the like tired look of a general, the horns and scales recede, and he, I think, feels less burdened in a way. He's just normal for the first time ever in his life.
All of you see that happen. And all of you see that happen, and you hear a groan from the table as Aoife starts to sit up. What are the other three of you doing?
Clarification. Are we still in mecha form?
Yep. As far as I'm aware.
Oh my
But
gosh.
she's not.
No. There's literally the imprint of Baylor's shadow revenant zombie body leeching back into the ground underneath her.
Can I slam shield down on her?
Sure.
Sick.
I will give you advantage. She's laying on the ground. She can't do shit.
All right. All right.
I mean, she can see it coming, but like,
Sick. No, I rolled 2 ones. Wait,
oh my god!
Wait, can I juice
Argue
this?
for honor. Argue for honor. Argue for
No,
honor.
Grim, shush, no influencing things.
Can I juice this?
No.
Oh man.
No. Okay, so the shield
Oh.
comes down and you watch her roll away. What do the other two of you do? You got feetsies.
Yeah, I think Carlisle's dismounting from the Colossus and just has their gun in hand and is walking towards her.
All right, is everybody getting out of the mech now? Jax is already out of the mech.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, the mech dismount, like, not dismounts. Disengages.
Disassembles.
That one. And all of you return to the ground. Do you like array around the table and stand around her?
I think shadows kind of slink off of Avery. They're kind of keeping that quality of symbiosis vibes. But the shadows kind of slink off of Avery, and not a fan of her.
No.
I don't like this woman.
No.
She has rolled onto her side and she's starting to sit up, you said? Is that
Yeah.
what you said?
Bring yourself up onto her elbows.
I think that the shadows just kind of like put like almost like a hand on the back of her head and just push her head back down to the table.
Kinky.
Gross.
You look like shit, Jax.
I feel like you want me to rebuttal, but it's been 80 years, Aoife, and I already killed you, so I really don't give a fuck what you gotta say.
I think at that, Carlisle puts the gun to her skull.
Carlisle. Come to get revenge.
Mid-sentence pulls the trigger.
Roll for dueling. Advantage.
I will. That's a 4 and a 3 for my hero.
How do you kill Aoife Fitzroy, the would-be Shadow King?
I won't go into details, but I think it is as you imagine a bullet to the head would be. There is a loud gunshot, a spattering of blood across the sides of the table, and silence.
That's it. She's gone. And all of you are left standing there. What do you say to each other?
Burn her body. He doesn't do that. He just says that to everyone, like in the room. He's just like, burn her body. You don't want to risk that.
Avery. You feel a tug at your ribs.
On the left side. Does not feel like Baylor's magic.
Well, does it not feel like Baylor's magic?
Okay. I take a couple steps back from the group and kind of reach inside the jacket, and just press it against my rib cage. Do I feel anything?
No. You tell me, do you feel anything?
I think Avery feels a very faint heartbeat, but it's lower than where Avery's own heart is.
Mm-hmm. You hear a voice, almost like it's whispered on the wind. Cut out her heart. Put it in the books. Trap her forever. And ever. This is not a voice you've heard before.
I think Avery, if anybody's looking at him, sees this like panic a little bit, and he kind of like glances around. Just
I think Avery hears a gun cock.
I think, very out of character, Avery actually says to the rest of the group, "Did anybody else hear that?"
All of you hear a voice. She stole from me, used me. Take her heart, put it in the wizard's box. He's her burden, and together I will be theirs.
That's bait. You know, the other thing about paradoxes is that if you do the dumb thing, they end up repeating themselves. Burn her body. Let's get the fuck out of here. He starts to walk away.
Is anybody gonna burn her body?
Carlisle's waiting to see what Avery does.
Avery has no means to burn a body right now. Avery's standing there looking stupid, hand inside their jacket, hand inside the front of their jacket, looking confused as fuck.
Jack's assuming she has no magic, so he's just like, yeah, I can't do it. So I'm a general. I'm used to delegating.
Do I have a way to burn a body?
I would argue that you and Chin are probably the only ones, now that Jax has no magic, the only ones who can summon some fire right now.
Carlisle looks at Chin. Can you make fire?
I'll try. Excalibur, can you make fire?
Excalibur erupts into flames.
All right, I can. Sick.
Do you whack at her with the sword? What are you doing?
Yeah, I think Chin is gonna follow his general's orders, and it'll just be like almost like a very somber, like laying down a hand as the gauntlet erupted in flames and set her body ablaze.
You all watch it to make sure it burns completely.
I want to clarify.
Uh-huh.
I did not recognize the voice.
Nope, none of you did.
Above table,
Uh-huh.
is this a voice that we've interacted with before?
Jax has a wild swing. Has a wild guess.
Oh, sure. Hit me with your wild guess.
Baylor.
Guys, that's Baylor. Yeah, narratively, that's Baylor, guys. Like, come on. Let's be so for real right now.
And
I think Carlisle's like that. I was like, that's
Baylor,
Baylor, guys. Like, let's not listen to that guy.
yeah, that's high key bait.
He said she killed him and controlled him and used him. That's Baylor. Like, who else?
You know that thing that they say about history and dooming to repeat and all that? Yeah, burn the body.
So
Burn.
you all watch the body burn to ash, just to be clear.
Carlisle does, but not to like make sure that it's burning. I think Carlisle's just like unable to not
Look away.
be
Got
here
it.
for this. Yeah.
Got it. You all stand there for. Okay, I want to explain why I know this knowledge. It takes a while for a body to burn. We're
Alright.
moist. And nope.
What?
I was a weird child. We're not going to explain how I know how
I'll
long it
leave it
takes for a
alone.
body.
I'll leave it alone then. Yeah, keep going.
It takes a while. About an hour into the process, portals start opening up around you, and the Fae enter. And they don't say anything, they watch. And then another portal opens up, and you see a very, very bruised and beaten Queen Elizabeth stumble through on the arm of her youngest brother. And Alice at their side.
And go straight to Alice.
Alice just like does one of like these where she like grabs you by the shoulders and like looks at you to make sure you're okay. The shadlings came for the three of us are all that's left of the House of Gwyneth. Everyone else is dead.
And just closes her into an embrace.
You all watch as Elizabeth hobbles up to the table and spits on the burning body.
If there's any consolation, which I know it's tough, the kingdom, family will rebuild.
Jax, you remember something different. Angarad and Lisbeth lived quite a while, and then the succession of siblings became king, became queen, became king. And then just before he was set to take the throne, as his infant daughter was born, the last of the Gwynedd siblings died. And the baby princess, now elevated to queen, needed a regent. But that's in another 10, 15, 20 years, and then she rules on her own. This didn't happen before. That baby girl that became queen in your time, her father stands there on his sister's arm, but there were other siblings between them to rule while he wed and produced an heir.
Wait, scratch that. I guess things do change. I don't know what's gonna happen then.
Yeah, Lisbeth looks at you. You are not the man I saw last. For all that your face is young. Who are you?
80 years will age someone, Elizabeth. Oh, sorry. Your Majesty. I haven't had to call you that in a long time.
You said my family endures.
Well, it was different the last time.
You said they endure.
Paradox came. You and your sibling. Sorry. How strong. You will recover from this, although how? I don't know, because the last time they survived, it was just you two. His daughter inherited everything. But things are different. Suppose the paradox found a solution.
All right. All right.
The mistake we made last time, though, I suppose, in hindsight, was dumb. We should find every trap that she laid here and destroy it.
I have no authority to do that here. And she looks at the assembled Fae. I am queen in name only, until I take the oath.
Not to be morbid, but we're already here.
That we are. And she genuinely looks at the rest of the Fae here. Like, are you going to stop me taking this oath? And Jax, you see Titania hesitate, I think is the best word for it.
Graham? And correct me if I'm wrong here, but Elizabeth was fine, right? Like she did good. She's chill. From my
I
memory.
mean, she's a raging bitch, but yeah. like yeah. You remember her to be a solid queen in a transitional period when the house was at threat of not surviving. She didn't just like maintain the status quo, she set up the framework for her siblings and their potential children to do what needed to be done so that you get to, you know, the prince wanting to reform things later. But she kind of kept the status quo. You also remember that after the last fight, she still had Angarad. She still had her wife, even though she didn't have her child. So you don't know what she's going to be like without a stabilizing influence like Angarad.
I'll look at her brother.
Yes.
And I think even though it's gone, even though he's not a dragon anymore, the vibe is still kind of there of like the look of his like generalness, who's like in his old age is like, I take no shits from I don't care anybody, even the rulers. And he looks at the brother and says, yeah, Graham, if she's still like I remember, she'll be all right. As long as someone's there to keep her head.
I think you also remember in this moment that Queen Alexandrina's parent, that was a Gwyneth's sibling, because I misremembered, was not a brother, but a daughter, was a sister. This is Charles Gwyneth. Completely different
Weird
sibling.
having half knowledge of the future and stuff. Look, just don't fuck up. He points to Lisbeth. Just fucking keep your head about things and don't go off the handle like you tend to do.
Does that mean that you're willing to stay by my side and keep me on the straight and narrow path? Can I count on you as a knight? Commander, maybe?
General.
General?
Yeah.
You certainly were elevated. She looks at Titania. I think this makes him one of mine now.
Shit. It's 100 in his head. Ah, shit. Here we go again. It's like that has came out. That's not invented, but that's the vibe he's giving off because he's like, I wanted to retire. I'm old
too
and I'm
old
gonna
for this
die
shit.
one day.
You're old. So I will say, like, you are old. You're what, like 105 right now?
105.
I'm gonna give you like maybe a good 10, 15 before you gotta start feeling old.
Yeah. He'll look at her and he'll say, all right, for a little bit. And then I want to retire.
Do any of the assembled here have any objections to me taking the monarch's oath?
Is anything that is currently on my person speaking to me right now in any particular way?
No, but I think you feel a presence at your back. Like someone's standing there.
I'm a little jittery from a fight. I turn around, elbow raised.
No one there. The other three of you see Maximoff standing there.
What do you want from me, Cass?
What do you do?
Carlisle raises a gun and fires Maximov's bullet. It's one of the 3 he has left.
Dueling. Well, no. Flat roll. Flat roll. No. I have a thing, Grim.
That's a 4.
You hit him, and he falls to the ground. Avery, you hear a thud, and you are still standing there, and you heard a body hit. You watched that bullet hit something, but there's nothing there. Maximoff then stands up, brushes himself off.
How many more times are you gonna make me do that?
How many more times are you going to shoot me?
As many times as it takes.
You're going to never miss and never kill me. So,
Can
I
hear
promise
Maximoff
I'll outlive
speaking?
you. No.
Jesus Christ.
You see other people reacting to something.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to go to break.
I wonder where we're gonna go from here. Is the question. Like what happens?
I have a couple loose ends. I have a couple loose ends. We gotta get a monarch on the throne, and then we gotta tie up a couple loose ends, and then we're gonna do a time skip to like let's say 10, 20 years in the future. That's that. Well, we're gonna do that after break.
Let me raise them.
Let's say 10 minutes, everybody. Go handle your liquids. We'll see you soon. Goodbye. We're back. Okay, we have fought the gremlins and won. Where did I leave off? Oh yeah. Carlisle, you can keep shooting Maximoff. A bullet will perpetually re-enter your gun barrel. But even after a while, Morrigan even comes over and grabs this smoking barrel and just...
I think Carlisle stops after the one and is like, we should get this over with before I continue to hunt you. I think
Avery, you still can't see anybody. You see people reacting, like, but there is a blank space in the world with whatever's going on.
I back up a couple steps. I probably draw my sword.
Chin is probably gonna be like, Avery, what's up?
You tell me.
He's right there.
Who's right there?
Maximoff.
Who the fuck is that?
And then it just like dawns on Chin's face. And I think he's gonna go up to Maximoff and say, is there anything you want to say?
Not felt my heart break in a long time. I will say this to all of you, actually. I was bound by oath. I'm still bound by oath to keep Aoife's plan in place. She has oath bound the children. I cannot say any more. But with her dead here now, I am in a loophole. I have one chance to get them somewhere where her influence will not reach them. But I can only do that with Avery's magic.
Chin would relay all of that to Avery.
How... I think we talked about this last time, Cass. I can kind of fill in the gaps. It doesn't feel like there's just like a picture and something's missing.
Yeah.
I kind of like blur the background.
Your brain, sorry, one of the animals is shoving their way inside.
Believe in you. And also them. I hope they win.
Atta girl.
They are banned. Not Mako, JC.
Free them.
His Mal. Always Mal. My little demon. Yeah, your brain has kind of like everywhere that Maximoff was in your life, your brain has kind of like filled in with like something else has happened. Like the sequence of events is the same, but your brain is like filled in the gaps. The only thing I think where you have like true like something is missing is when it was just the two of you and the more intimate moments, let's call them, where you're like, wait a second, who was that? But there's no face. You remember feeling whatever affection you felt, but there's no face, there's no name, but the feeling is there. And you're like, how could I forget somebody I've felt that way about, you know? Mm-hmm. Whatever way that is.
I kind of glance between Chin and this space in the air where I can't see or hear anything. Is this somebody that we're supposed to trust?
Depends who you ask.
I think if it can help Jax get his kids back, I can't think of anything else.
Okay, then.
He has to remember me. You have to pick me.
How?
Tell them to reach for the second heartbeat.
Avery. Reach for the second heartbeat.
I think Avery looks very suspicious. Because they have not told the team about whatever the fuck is going on.
Nope.
But sword still in hand, they'll reach inside their jacket pocket and kind of press it against their rib cage. And I think that they like press and hold their palm against their rib cage for a second, and then they just put a little bit of pressure just to see if they can start to reach past the skin.
You wrap your hand around a little box.
It's not in the box. It's just floating.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
It's just free floating in there.
Who needs a floating rib when you can have a floating heart?
Free floating.
Yeah, you reach in and you pull out. Dun, dun. That's a cattail and makes us less impressive. Dun, dun. Dun, dun. Dun, dun. And there's like a little like slug on it of black ichor, and it starts to slide off the heart and onto your arm.
I like hold out the heart towards Chin. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? What is happening?
What do they need?
Slug
to
is
do?
moving very quickly, and who is close enough to Avery right now to see it?
I think I'd be close. I think Chin would be close.
Okay. So Chin, you see the heart being handed towards you, and you also see like this little like black slug climbing up Avery's arm. But Avery's got shadow magic, so you do with that information what you think is appropriate. If you want to roll for it, we'll roll for it.
Sure.
Okay. Roll vigor.
All right. I fail.
You can juice this one.
I'll juice
You guys
it.
have
You
so
need
much
to use
juice you
it.
didn't use.
I failed with
The
the same number.
No, juice it again. I'm just kidding.
Did you fail again?
Yes, with the exact same number.
Chin's
the bad
back,
luck returns
baby.
at the
Yeah.
worst moment.
Okay, I need to know this. Carlisle and Jax, are you guys within 10 feet of Avery?
I feel like, yeah.
I think they were
Yeah?
before Avery took the step back. I don't know how far that
You
would be.
also
Yeah.
roll vigor rolls for me. Please, for the
Alright.
love of God, feel free to
No.
juice these. I'm
Somebody's
giving
made
everybody a
Avery's life.
shot. If you all fail this, it's going to be
4.
all on Kian.
I said 4.
I got
It's
an
my hero.
8.
You're still transformed, and that's not your hero. You're a D10 in this. No, yeah, no,
I'm a
you're
D10
old
now.
Jax. Yeah,
I'm a D10 now.
Okay.
He's a dragoon.
you still pass.
But it passes, yeah.
Okay, so the two of you see this little slug, but again, not unusual to see little drips of shadow magic coming off of Avery these days. Like, but it seems to be moving with purpose, which is a little weird. Avery, you're still holding the heart out to Chin.
I think old Jax is a lot A lot more cautious about shadow magic
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
So, guy
Okay.
grabs it.
Carlisle, do you reach for it as well?
If Jax is reaching for it, no. Carlisle's eyeballing that heart real hard though.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. You snatch the little slug. Jax LaFay. More like Jax LaMortal now.
Yep.
And a little
Jax the Fay LaFay no more. I'm Jax the guy LaFay.
Don't celebrate this.
I'm not. I'm very
You
worried.
are mortal.
Mm-hmm.
And you snatch this little slug and you open your hand and it's gone.
Yeah, because I don't think he thinks about it. Because I think he's operated on the fact that he's half Fey literally his entire life, and then he was most recently just Fey. So he's just kind of like, like first thought, yank.
You're old, Jax, though.
Yeah, he's 105.
Yeah, no. So you have a thought, but we'll come back to that thought.
All
Avery,
right.
you're holding out this heart. You don't know why you have a heart inside your rib cage.
Nope. And thank God I have anatomical knowledge, because Avery, need I remind the crowd, is a little bit of an idiot. So in the moment, probably would be like, did I just pull out my own fucking heart?
Chuck is insistent on being in my lap and it like wants to dig claws in about it. Anyway. If you're coming up, you have to come up. Thank you. So is anybody gonna say anything to Avery about Maximoff?
I mean, I think Chin he'd be flabbergasted at the heart, but then he would ask Maximov, so what do they do?
Choose to remember. Or choose to let Carlisle kill me.
Avery, you have to choose to remember. You could also let Carlisle kill him.
I'm sorry, choose to remember what? I just pulled a heart out of my ribcage. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Look, I don't get it either, but I am just listening to him.
That's his heart. He gave it to you because you love each other.
It's kind of romantic in a way if you think about it.
Yeah.
The feelings are still there. Do I tie that to this heart in my hand? Man, Cass, we about to make this so fucking tragic.
It's already tragic. We're already there.
You don't have any inkling? There's no love left in your mind at all?
I can't even see who you're talking about.
Don't rely on sight, Avery. There's one thing I learned when I looks at his hand was Faye.
Carlisle.
It ain't never about what you see. It's about who you are.
Carlisle.
Emotions are a proclamation of the soul.
You look at Avery and you realize that they are never ever going to remember Maximoff again unless they make a choice in this moment, but they will suffer a heart as broken as yours if they don't make that choice. And you are potentially the only one standing here who knows what it means to lose something like that.
Avery, I'm giving you this choice as your teammate and no other reason. You don't love someone with your eyes. You don't look back on any of the bullshit that we put you through and feel just the least bit of missing, the least bit of longing and confusion and quite frankly, all the bullshit that comes with loving someone even though it doesn't make any sense.
Because it's Carlisle talking, I think of the first time that Carlisle shot Avery, and there is this like, there's that missing sense of like something is off. I know that Carlisle shot me. I know that I'm still salty about it, but like the reasoning that my brain has come to understand, I can tell is not quite correct. And then I think that there is this. I don't think Avery sees the memory visually. I think that they feel that presence at their back again. And they are in a place of science, medical workshop. And Avery is looking at something on the table, enraptured, and it's talking about it very excitedly and very animatedly. And they can feel somebody at their back who just puts hands on their shoulders and leans in and is listening and wants to hear what Avery is saying. And I think that it's that moment of just like, I mean, it's fucking cheesy, but it's that feeling of like, I'm being heard right now. Like, this person is hearing me. And I think that feeling is very loud. And I look at the heart. I would like to try I've tapped into other people's minds with shadow magic.
You sure have.
I would like to do that to myself. Almost as a like third party, out of body experience. And try to dig into the memories that I am not seeing.
Etiquette.
It's fucking hard.
I know.
Oh my god, I'm so nervous. My tummy hurts.
You can juice this.
Ooh, I got it too.
Oh, you peer into your own mind. You reach for that memory in the workshop. And a body coalesces, but there's still no face. This is a person, and you can't hear a voice and you can't see a face, but there's someone there. Stop doing that. And the heart in your hand starts beating in time with your own.
You're saying that I can see this person in my memory, or do I see somebody standing in front of me in this moment?
Both. Still can't see his face, and you still can't hear him.
I think I pull my hand back and with the heart, and I replace it. I put it back inside my little pocket dimension ribcage.
Put it in the pocket dimension? Or would you like me to give you a different option?
I have an idea. What is your idea?
Switch the hearts.
I literally was thinking the same thing. But I was like, this is so dramatic.
Give him yours, and you take his.
Talk about a heart to heart. I had
Hey,
to.
hey-o.
I was gonna say, I think that like I reach and it goes into the pocket dimension, but like even as I'm reaching, it shifts its location within my body to where
Mhm.
my own heart is.
Mhm.
So that they're
Bigger.
matched. And when I pull my hand out, there's still a heart in there.
Do you want to switch them? It's a vigor roll. And I'll give you advantage.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Because I feel like chat might come for me if I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I take that back. Grim is going to come for me, and they're a lot closer than the rest of you.
It's a vigor roll. I'm not even looking. I rolled a 2 and a 3. I don't know if that succeeds.
No.
No.
Not at all.
I could tell you from experience that doesn't succeed.
You can juice it, and it would be one single dice reroll.
Juice that thing.
Yeah, I'll juice it.
You just need a 5.
It's a 4.
Wasn't meant to be.
Cass.
Uh-huh.
So we've touched on the versatility of whalers, right?
Yeah, we sure have.
Can I?
What is justice for Carlisle in this moment?
Carlisle wants Maximoff dead, but I don't think that they believe that that's just anymore.
Hmm.
They would rather Maximov and Avery get away than create someone who's like them.
What would you like to do to help this so that Avery can re-roll one more dice?
I think as Avery is fiddling around in their chest, Carlisle just puts the gun to their heart and pulls the trigger.
What do you want the whalers to do?
I want them to create justice for Avery's sacrifice. I want them to stitch Maximov's heart into their own chest.
Dueling.
I'm dumb a duel or a duel.
Flat roll.
I said 4. Smile.
That's a hero. Kian, roll 2 dice at advantage on vigor one more time. Maybe different dice than the ones you've rolled.
Yeah, I'm putting them aside. I'm putting them aside.
Between you and Matt, I cannot handle the
Believe in
dice.
you. I believe in you.
I need to refresh my bed buff, okay?
Oh no. I don't like this
Kian, come on.
reality.
Kian, come
Kian,
on.
my love, please.
Dog. You gotta
That's a 3 and a 1.
honor. Come on.
Honor will count here. And I will tell you why. Because Avery still does not know what it is they sacrificed, but they do know that there was a sacrifice, that they gave something, they gave someone up, and Carlisle is forcing that connection back. And as the heart stitches itself into place in your chest, you pull your own free. And standing before you is Maximoff. What do you do with your own beating heart?
Do I remember everything?
Yep, it's all back.
And I remember that I chose to give up my memories.
Yes.
I have that detail. I look at. Sorry, go ahead.
Everything.
I look at the heart in my hand. I look at Maximov. I smirk, and I think Avery just says, "Took you long enough." and I just very casually toss the heart into the air for Maximoff to catch.
Anything for you, my love. Lisbeth, behind all of you, just walks up and whacks Maximoff in the side of the head. Like, has a rock and everything, like, beats this man over the side of the head. And you watch as he, like, clutches the heart to his chest and, like, shoves it in and it disappears. And he just looks at her. What the fuck? And she's brandishing this rock at him. All the Fae are just like, nope, you're on your own, bitch. And all the Fae are just watching this, and she's brandishing this rock at him. This is your fault. You came to court. You put that idea in her head. Why? Why would you do this? Everyone I love is dead. And he looks down at her. I didn't give her the idea, just made it easier. But I also didn't know how crazy she was. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to go retrieve some children. Hello, crit. Well, hello, double raid. Holy shit. We are playing Sentai and Sensibility. This is the finale episode of Table 1, and the Table 2's finale will be next Friday. We're having a very intense moment. I'm going to go retrieve some scared children so that they may spend time with their father for a few minutes before I must whisk them away to Fairy so that magic doesn't take hold and hijack their little brains and turn them into little monsters. Does that sound okay with everyone? Jax, do you want to come and get your children? Let's go get your children.
Finally. Just I think there is like a tear that comes down because the thought of being able to see his children in their youth again.
Anyone
after 80
paying
years brings some
attention,
joy.
that tear has a little tint of ichor to it. You don't notice anything. You're fine. You had a passing thought earlier.
Everything's okay. What was it?
Oh, what was the thought?
Yeah.
Baylor's body still nearby. But you forgot about it already. Too much going on.
I'm gonna see my kids, and that's all that matters.
Does anybody have anything else they would like to say or do before we cut away as Lisbeth begins to take the monarch's oath?
Carlisle has one more thing.
One more thing from Carlisle, please.
Carlisle's going to stop Maximoff from leaving and hold out a closed fist to offer them something. They leave because they used Avery's whaler already. They leave Maximoff's whaler in his hand.
I'll give that back to you. I'm going to earn it.
Don't tell me that. I could just make a new one.
I know. I want to earn that one.
I've already earned it 10 times.
I'll give you a reason to use it again and shoot Avery this time. Because that's the choice you have to make now. That's the choice you make now, Carlisle. To kill me, you have to kill Avery.
You're acting like a twofer's a bad deal here.
Goodbye, Carlisle. Anybody say anything? Do anything? Anybody else?
Forgot how at each other's throats y'all were.
We're gonna cut away. Queen Lisbeth of the House of Gwynedd rules for 15 years. Long enough time for her brother Charles to find a wife and have a child. When that child is about 6 years old, as Lisbeth, who has held on far longer with the injuries she suffered at the hands of the Shadlings on the night that you all fought Aoife, she lasted far longer than anybody thought she would. Maximoff kept her going for as long as she did. Charles rules as king for a few weeks. And then the curse on the House of Gwynedd, as the people have been floating around, takes hold, and he dies suddenly on the throne. As the only living member of the House of Gwynedd left, Alice Fitzroy and her spouse, maybe? Chin?
She's got the oath, right?
Mhm.
I have an idea.
I would love to hear an idea.
So, like,
The timelines are a little different. And
okay.
and you could have had Lisbeth rescind the oath.
Oh no, I think I feel like he would want Alice to become like king before doing this. And I think that like as Alice has taken the throne, if Chin still has Excalibur,
Alice isn't taking the throne. I want this to be clear.
Oh.
Alice is regent for her cousin,
Okay.
who is a child.
I see. Okay.
She is ruling the kingdom, but she is not its queen.
All right. Then at some point, if Alice is on board with this, I think Chin has been focused on this one plan for a really long time.
Mhm.
And he's gonna ask Excalibur, can you still supersede oaths, or did I imagine or dream that up?
It depends on the oath.
The specific oath that Alice made, not the taking the throne part, but you know, the other parts. Wink wink, nudge nudge.
Which part would you like rescinded? I can do one.
So if you wouldn't mind, I think he would like whisper it to Excalibur, and then he's gonna go, if that works, he's gonna go to Alice, and he'll kneel down as a knight and bow to her and say, Excalibur, I'd like to bestow you upon my queen so that you can do the thing, please. The one to whom I've devoted the rest of my life to. And then Chin is gonna fess up, because I imagine that he has been scared to say this part for a long time.
Huh.
So, Alice, I've got good news and I've got bad news.
Okay, I need to know how far along in this 15-year period this has happened, like, just for my own edification.
Let's say like 5 years.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember that apple?
Yes.
I kind of gave up all of that.
You did what?
You know, and
Chin?
I
Wrong.
with her eyes closed, I want to do a quick flashback because there was a moment
Yes.
back before we fought Aoife
Yes.
where Jack specifically wanted to talk with everyone but Chin, basically.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
Chin was like, "Oh, you know," because Chin was like, "Oh, I gotta tell Jax. There's something I need to do," and he forgot to tell him, but he forgot that he forgot to tell him. So he's like, "Oh, Jax totally knows what he did," but he had gone out onto the town to go look for a very specific thing.
Yes, he did.
And with Alice's eyes closed in exasperation, Chin, still kneeled down as a knight would on one knee, is gonna say, "Here's the good news." And he's gonna crack open a little box.
Oh my.
I called in a favor.
Hate you. I hate you.
Excalibur, do your thing.
The oath where she cannot marry, that part of the oath she made, falls away. And she rips the box out of your hands. How long do you have left exactly?
I think I got till 43. Something like that.
Chin, you are 28 years old.
Yeah. Guess we better make it count.
I hate you. And she does slip the ring on her finger and like drags you off to get married. 5 or 10 years later, you are standing at her side as her consort, as she is named regent for her cousin. Or her niece, technically. Because and she puts this little girl on the throne and places a crown upon her head. And then I think the two of you both put a hand on the back of that throne and stand together behind this little girl.
Excellent.
How does Chin die 8 years later? Or do you want me to tell you?
Oh, what?
I said, do you have an idea or do you want me to tell you?
I've got an idea.
You've got an idea?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that at this point they got a couple kids. No? Okay.
That part
never
of the
mind.
oath was not broken.
Dang it. Okay.
I said one part.
Okay. I think Chin might have adopted a couple kids.
That's better.
And I think that on the last day, Chin would have gone out and gotten Alice's favorite foods. Maybe a little like banquet. He probably would have invited everyone. like set up because he wouldn't want to like burden Alice with all this stuff. So he gets like the whole funeral thing. He's got the coffin. He's got all that stuff, and he would just say, "Thank you all. I never thought I'd amount to much, but seeing the people around me, I feel like a king."
I'm gonna break everyone's heart doing this. Because in the fight, a bullet was shot with the wrong name on it. And the timeline shifted. And that bullet has been wailing through the years for a target that does not exist. But in the other timeline, the first person to die at Charles Marlove's hand was Qin Huang. And while that timeline will never repeat, some deaths are inevitable. And a bullet comes through the window and kills Qin Huang after he has said goodbye to his family. It is a bullet with the name Charles Malgrove on it. Carlisle. What do you do after Lisbeth takes the throne until her niece is placed on it 15 years later?
The most immediate action is that Carlisle goes to find Merlin because that guy was kidnapped. And
yeah, I think you turn around at some point and Merlin is fussing over the broken table with an Eva-shaped hole in it.
they don't know what to do with themselves. They're down an arm. They did not expect to live through this after Aoife was dead. And I think they spend the entirety of the next 15 years hunting down everyone who aided and abetted Aoife Fitzroy.
You kill hundreds and thousands of people over 15 years.
There, if I may, Cass, I think a small legend arises from it. The white of an eye with no malice, no contempt, sweeping through London, the Britain, greater European area, the world, cutting away some invisible rot.
Legend of the Banshee. I think you find yourself 15 years later. standing in Manhattan, staring at a mansion, watching several children play in a courtyard. You know this to be the Marlove house. And you know the family inside to be where Charles Marlove will eventually come from. And you see a little boy sitting apart from the rest of his siblings, reading a little journal. You can make a roll in this moment to see what he's reading. Vigor. Flat. No juice. You are so muted, and I don't know why.
Sorry. I said you hate me first before I rolled, and I said, "Oh my god, thank God I'm so cool and awesome," because that's a 4.
You rolled a 4. Are you transformed?
I don't think Carlisle untransforms after Elizabeth takes the throne.
Okay. You recognize that journal, and you don't know how he got it.
I again will not go into too deep details, but I think headlining news of the massacre at Marlove Manor.
Do you take out just him?
Oh no. It's everyone. And the book is taken with Carlisle.
You return home in time to see another headline. The death of Knight Qin Huang, co-regent. And in that moment, as soon as you return to British soil, you know that it was your bullet that killed him.
A single tear falls from a pure white eye. Carlisle would visit the grave and just leave a flower with a note. The only good thing to come out of the worst thing that ever happened to me.
You turn, and Alice is there with fresh flowers. You can see the carriage. Go away, Carlisle.
I was on my way out.
Do not ever set foot in this city again. That was my brother. That was my husband. That is not justice. Leave now, before I tell Avery where you are.
They pull a single feather from around their neck, and they're gone.
Jackson, Avery, we're going to start with the two of you, and then we will probably separate, but we're going to start with the two of you because the two of you follow Maximoff to Ferry. And how do I want to do this? You tread deep into Fomorian territory, to Baelor's castle, and find that is where Maximov has stashed the twins. They're fine, having a great time with their little creepy hearts, cartwheeling and acrobating around this, Castlevania castle. Okay, they're having a fucking fantastic time. Avery, now that you are close to them, and now that you have Maximov's heart, you see the shadow magic written all over them. They were meant to carry Aoife's work to the Marlov children, to find someone who would be willing to take up her mantle. She oath-bound 2 6-year-olds with the power of a god. A god whose the majority of whose power you currently now possess. So, I have options for you. Jax and the twins can stay here, and the 3 of you can figure out how to get them unoath bound. Or you can be the new king of the Fomorians and break any oath made with that power.
I imagine it takes a little bit of time for them to sort of realize that these are the 2 options. And so once Avery realizes the choice in front of them, they would ask Maximov for a moment alone with Jax. What do you want me to do? If you tell me to take this
I'm thinking
power,
about how I would do it again, and what I'd do to see them again. Decision on what to do with the choices you have are up to you. I don't ask you to burden yourself with a choice that would turn your life into something you never sought. Either way, I will remain with them until the end of my days.
maybe this isn't the life that I sought, but not what they wanted either. And I look over at the twins. They deserve better than this. They shouldn't suffer the consequences of the war that we started.
It wasn't us, Avery. It was never us. Don't do that. It's always her and her mother.
I think Avery probably
I stand by your
glances
decision.
when Jack says it wasn't us and starts listing off people that were at fault. Avery glances at Maximov, because I expect that they have probably had a conversation about Maximov owning his involvement and Avery committing to carrying that with him. So there is some ownership there. But Avery just nods, and I will do whatever I need to set these kids free.
Thank you.
Don't make me regret it. Make sure they have fun.
I've waited 80 years to raise them. I have nothing but fun.
Avery, you are choosing to take on the mantle of Baylor. I need you to make a series of vigor rolls for me. The first two will be flat. You're going to make 5 total.
That's 1 success and 1 failure.
Another one at disadvantage.
That's 2 successes. Holy shit.
The next one will be flat.
That's a fail. Jesus Christ.
Disadvantage.
Oh my god.
Even you.
That's 2 successes.
Balanced. That's all
It
things
takes
should be.
you hours, days, weeks. Jax, time is very liminal in fairy to begin with. You know this. The time dilation between the realms is crazy. The last time you were in fairy, a week was a month, 2 months, 3 months, however long it was. Avery and Maximoff disappear into the dungeons of this castle. And you are keeping the kids distracted, being a dad. And when Avery emerges, Kian, what physical changes do you think Avery has taken on being the king of shadows and giants?
He has not physically grown, but their shadow extends as though they were significantly taller than they are. And their eyes are completely dark. And their voice is quieter. They kind of, unintentionally, they tend to speak in whispers now. And they kind of leave that like reflective oil residue where they touch and where they walk. And I think the humanness of them seems to have shrunk while the shadows have gotten bigger. So they don't take up less space, but there's just this disconnect from the humanness that they used to experience.
How do you break the oath this power was used to make with 2 children? Is it a negotiation with the magic, or is it straight fight?
I think I offered the magic a new oath instead.
Oh, and what would that be?
I think that to the 2 kids, I make it very formal. I kind of make a show of it. I gather them in sort of this throne-like space, and I have them both swear an oath, and there is no magic to it, but I have them both swear an oath to have fun and to explore and to exist fully as humans do and make mistakes and learn from them. I talk to them about upholding family because I heard Jax talk about it all the time. I kind of start to bestow what I learned from Jax to them. And I have them swear it as though it's an oath. And I promise the magic. I don't know how to word it. Like, I imagine that it feels hungry. Like
It is.
it hungers for the power that comes with these oaths and the power that it's promised. And I will not do what the original oath said, but I promise it an equivalent power.
What is that?
I will leave that to be defined. I do not tell Maximov that I make this oath. I do not tell Jax that I make this oath.
Specifically, what are you aiming for here?
Basically an IOU. You have my life in your hands. When the time comes, we will figure out. Once you identify, something is going to come across this magic's path, and the magic will say that is an equal power that I was promised and lost because of you. And I will do what I need to absorb that.
You don't need to tell Jax what happens. Jax knows. Jax passing thoughts for all the time you've spent in Baelor's kingdom. You know where little things are buried around Britain, around this kingdom, little pockets of power, little pockets of knowledge. You feel an oath taken. And you know that if you really wanted it, Avery would owe you a favor. And then the thought goes away. You're able to take the kids out of Fairy. Where do you take them first? Home.
It's not. I guess in this time it's our home. From where I'm from, it's my home.
The house in
And that's
London
where I
that
take them.
Nimue gave you? Okay. You've got 15 years before your age will catch up to you and your lack of magic.
I do everything that I've always wanted to do with them. I take them out for treats. I take them to the playgrounds. I play Tickle Monster with them.
Oh,
They're everything you can think of a good time with a father and their children is had. And
how permissive
the
are you? I have to ask. Like, are they going to be little hellions when they get to be in their 20s? Or are they going to learn some, limits to what they're allowed to do?
I think he would instill upon them something that young Jax probably would have had a hard time doing. That old Jack
Boundaries?
now knows. That, but also, I think there's a he teaches them to have confidence in their own abilities, to know what they're capable of, and to believe themselves to be what they are and good at what those things are, but also to never think that they're the best. Not in like a bad way, like they can't be the best or they can't stand atop, whatever a skill they want to possess, right? But it's like know what you can do, but also know what you can't. And he teaches them to care for others and to stand up for what they believe is right, even if he doesn't fully agree with it. But I think he tells them the measure of a true person, not a true person, but the true measure of a person comes from the moments when they're faced with the choices that go against their beliefs and to follow what they know in their heart is the right path, regardless of what everyone says around them.
Okay.
And I think probably before, like, I think the year leading up to the sort of like feeling, I feel like he starts to feel like
Oh yeah.
I'm getting wild, like I'm getting old. I think he will try to talk to Titania.
About what?
If he can, he'll ask her. For a long time, I've operated on the probability and the knowledge that, especially after I became Fae, that I would exist for, well, forever. And I'm facing mortality. Excuse me. And that's okay. If I die tomorrow, I'll die knowing that I was a father. And that makes me happy. I just, I know family is as important to you as it is to me, so.
Do you think I
If
would
you-
let those children out of my sight after you die?
No. But that's
Knowing what happens to them in another time.
not what I don't assume that at all. But they have been through a lot.
They have.
And if ever a time should come where they'll go through something again, remind them that life is more than the sum of its evilness. They can find joy in even the darkest of moments.
I'll do my best. Good to see you grow old. Even if it takes you from me too soon. You are not built for the world that is to come, I think. Too kind.
Perhaps if things happened differently for me, I'd have been more heartless. But I spent a long time seeking your approval, Grandma.
You always had my approval.
No,
What do you...
not like that. I wanted to be strong, like you.
Very
a
briefly,
legend.
you were stronger than me, and I had feelings about it.
My point is that I realized that all I ever truly wanted was to be a father.
You were a wonderful one at that. Get out of my sight. I'm not going to cry today.
Yeah, Your Majesty.
Oh, fuck off.
Look, I'll spend my last days on Earth probably doing just that. Expect some more kids, some more grandkids coming your way. You will walk away.
You know what you need to worry about? The way your children are eyeing Night Huang's children. Don't put Alice through that. We're gonna cut back over to you, Avery. How do you spend the next 15 years as a god? A god king of giants.
Am I allowed to leave Fairy?
Yeah.
Okay.
You are not bound to the chains that kept Baylor in place because Baylor died.
Okay. I think I probably spend it terrorizing the people around me with stupid magic.
Yes.
Mostly harmless,
Yeah.
but the limitations that I was looking for before no longer exist. This is not going to run out. This is not going to.
It does not exist.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want.
Pretty much.
I make sure that I'm a menace 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it almost Avery's. You and I had talked about this. Avery had this fear of like, even if Maximov and Avery end up together, Maximov is going to live forever and Avery's not. And that's not the case anymore. Avery has this power with him now. But it almost feels too good to be true. So it takes a long time in those 15 years to really start to trust Maximov again and to really get their relationship back to where it was. But eventually it does get there. I think Avery travels, goes home, sees the world, will not take any more oaths, does not fuck around with any of that shit. Not trying to tie my life to anybody else. But yeah, I think that there's this even though the human part of them feels gone, there is a lightness to them, a childishness to them that they haven't had in a long time since before Charlotte died.
Do you take lessons in being a good king from the other Fae?
No.
Haha, beautiful. I hoped not.
I'm gonna be a king however I want to be a king.
Cat Chi shows up like once a month and just sits on your throne and helps you be a menace. Like, because the kingdoms of Tirnanog and the Fomorians are like right up next to each other. So there's a lot of like overlap. Tirnanog is goblins, you got the giants, like, you know, besties, worsties, whatever you want it to be.
I think the first time that Cassie shows up, Avery is laying down in front of the throne, like wailing about how hard it is to be a king. Maximum is like, get the fuck up, stop being dramatic.
And you just feel like cat claws on your head, petting your head. One day you wake up in Fairy and you feel a tug on that IOU. And Carlisle, $15 you've spent hunting everyone who helped Aoife, burning her from existence, removing her from memory. And you go home and you find yourself standing in front of a familiar house because a bullet appeared in your gun in the morning upon your waking with the name Aoife Fitzroy on it. And you find yourself standing in front of Jax LaFay's house.
Carlisle knocks on the door.
Jax, do you have servants who open the door?
I think that's the one thing that never changed about old Jax is he still doesn't like having servants. He's just like he answers it himself.
You open the door and you start to say hello to your old friend when you feel a tug on your heart. And all those dark thoughts you've had for so many years come pouring to the forefront. And Avery, you feel a tug. Carlisle, do you fire the bullet?
Carlisle has a job to do.
And that's where we're going to end this series.
That's crazy, actually.
That's the fuck.
That's actually crazy. Oh wow, that's wild. Listen, let's start a petition for 15 more minutes.
No, I'm done. No, Grim came up with the little worm, and I just stuck it in the other person's head, and Grim can satisfy whatever time fuckery he wants to do since this was his idea.
You've kind of carved the timeline to pieces now that we've turned Carlisle loose on the world, huh?
Paradox.
Does Carlisle kill Jax? Does Jax grab power to survive and kill Avery to become the new Baylor?
New king of the Fomorians rip themselves through time and space to save their friend.
I assume
Find
that
out next time.
I'm so sorry. You gave up the apple. That was my way to keep you alive, bro. And you gave up the apple. And I was like, God damn it, I gotta kill you now.
Hey, Chin doesn't have to deal with the mess right now. So
That's so true. Oh man. Oh my god, guys. I've been very close to tears many times tonight. So I'm gonna make you guys go first to tell us who you were, who you are, where to find you. And yeah, I'm gonna start with Kian because I feel like even with my eyes closed, Kian wants to yell at me.
I have feelings. I have so many thoughts right now. Hi, I'm Kian. What am I saying? I use any and all pronouns. You can find me on the interwebs. I should have just fallen into the thing. You can find me on the interwebs at uptight chiffon _chiffon. I don't know. There's dashes and underscores in there sometimes. This is, I think, I didn't pull up my calendar. I didn't think we were going to end there. I thought we had time, so I didn't get my calendar out. This is my only current project right now. Everything else that I'm in starts in February. So follow me on social media. I'll be hanging out on High Shelf Collective and Live from the Apocalypse. I've got some really cool projects there. I can't talk about the other stuff yet because it's still in production. But I don't know. That's me. My brain is scrambled. I really didn't think we were going to end there. I thought we had more time. I will pass it over to Matt.
thank you, Kian. I'm Matt. You can find me everywhere as Improv and RPG. Thank y'all so much for being such a wonderful table. I played Chin, who earned Excalibur, got married, and finally felt like a king. And I will pass it over to X.
First to Cass, with all the love in my heart, fuck you. I love you. Here we go. I guess I'm Extel. The pronouns are he, him. You can find me at Extra the King on all the socials most of the time. Not all of them actually, but the ones that are important. Let's see. I've got a lot of stuff going on, and I can't think straight because wild ending. I've got to start playing. You can join me on there where I run a lot of vampire. You can catch me on Don't Kill My Character for Sanguine Scourge, Pride of Monsters, Superhero Shenanigans, and other stuff. Oh, in February on I believe the 11th, I forget, but we have a Black History Month celebration on there. We're gonna go play a game of Emberwind with a wonderful cast, an all black cast, and we're gonna tell a story of black excellence. So it's gonna be great. Um, um, let's see. Other stuff coming up. On Tales for the Table Studios. You know what? You come back to me on this part, and I'll handle it. But that's where you can find me for the most parts. For now, I'll tell you stuff later. But we'll pass it on to JT.
Hi, what's up, guys? I'm JT. You can find me all over the internet at Gracias Knoll now. I've rebranded. Also at Entropy Emporium. That has not been rebranded. You can see me on Entropy Emporium this Thursday playing another pathetic little guy, but for totally new and different reasons. I'll be playing Cogs on God Complex, the chief engineer of the Delphi, even though no one knows it yet. And then on Friday, I will be running the Weird Wilds War, which is a 5e homebrew game on Entropy Emporium that I run. It's a very good table, very good cast. And Saturday morning, get your cartoon fix with Star Shard, our battle manga themed actual play. It's super cool. We got a fun little overlay, and the characters are all awesome. It's a good time. Come check it out. And then we got some stuff coming up. I have a project on LFTA that is set to release next month. We've not officially announced it, so I will not say more. But if you like noir and you like masks, come and say hi. It's a good time. That's all for me. Thank you for indulging me in this great and wide tragedy that's been in the making for like a year, I think. Back to you guys in this studio.
Oh,
I
it has
think-
been a minute. Grim, do you wanna say where you're gonna be next?
Sure, you will be hearing this same spiel next week, but most importantly, starting tomorrow, if you cannot get enough Sentai and Sensibility, please check out twitch.tv/corrosive squid for the second season of the first time I ran Sentai for Sentai and Sensibility and Affair of Arcana for an entirely different group of people in a much more little more Power Rangery than Kamen Ridery on the trauma spectrum. Being very honest with it, if you like happier endings, you might enjoy visiting us over there a little bit more. It's a little bit more Monster of the Week. It's a little bit less. We're gonna end with, well, do we kill our friends or not? Maybe. Who knows? There's been some trauma that's happened since the end of the first season. Catch up. Someone might have been left at the altar. Someone might have run off with a Fey Lord. Things might have happened that might have jaded that party just a little bit, and I'm here to make it worse. You may also catch me on Thursday, also on Twitch TV, twitch.tv /corrosive squid, where I am a certified life coach, and my business partner, who is a mental health counselor, will be either starting a Knots in the Sky or our own God Killer game. We haven't decided yet. We're deciding that tomorrow, probably at work. You can catch us there about midday for a work along or just a general afternoon work stream if you want to hear us be just nerdy little idiots off to the side. Friday, not this Friday, Friday after that, you can see me back here again, where I will be kind of stepping in, much as the fantastic cast did on this table, to finish off my own table. And from there, yeah, everything I'm doing on. You can also catch the ongoing adventures of an Odyssey Verdant over on youtube.com/@coziestbean, our new home on YouTube for the Coziest Trauma Corner. From there, we're going to go ahead, and that's everything I have right now, but I do have some openings up if anybody's looking for players for anything. Just tossing that out there real quick. Passing it back to Cass.
All right. It's me. I will be over on Entropy with God Complex with JT on Thursday, but before that, you will see me tomorrow night. Over on High Shelf Collective, we are raising money for assisting everything going on in Minnesota, helping protesters, etc. We're going to be playing Pathfinder and bringing back Darlene, whose one big skill is gun. And for Minnesota Freedom Fund, thank you, JC. I forgot what the exact charity was called. Yes, Minnesota Freedom Fund. We are raising money for that. I will be back on your screens in 2 weeks for Sundered Skies with X, and for the beginning of Echoes of the Kamurakage, the Avatar series that I will be running over on Entropy Emporium this same Tuesday every other week. So the first episode is the 10th of February. Before I go, community is the most important thing we have. As far as playing these games. And at least for this table, and I know for Grim as well, part of the narrative of this story has been taking power away from people who don't deserve it and pummeling them into the ground. Which unfortunately we can't necessarily do in our day-to-day lives, but we can do what we can do. And so all I ask of everybody that is watching this evening, that is at this table, it is at any table, is to stand up for what you know is right. Do not let the story spin in the way it is spinning. Do what you can, do it safely. And fuck ICE. So, I believe we're gonna go raid Sword and Key. They're playing Baldur's Gate. They're playing a little chill time. But I love you all. This was wonderful. I nearly cried so many times tonight. I held it together. Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. The voice of God has spoken. I have to go back to X. But I love you all. Always remember to tell your tales. I will see you again at Table 2 next Friday, where my fight is not done yet. And nor should any of yours be. X, what have you got for us?
So, I'd like it to be known that we here at Tales from the Table Studios agree with all of that. It is unprecedented times that no one should have to go through, but unfortunately we are here. With that being said, we have some announcements for the studio. We have For All Mutant Kind premiering next Thursday. That is the 5th of February. For All Mutant Kind is a wonderful game, a mass game about finding yourself when the world pushes back on who you are. And I think that's a pretty good story to tell now times, yeah. We have Sundered Skies coming up, as mentioned before by Cass, coming up in a couple of weeks. Where we are doing, we are raising funds for RISIS at the moment to help. There's an organization that helps immigrant families come to the country and helps with any legal fees and things like that they are dealing with, so that they can more securely find a place here, especially amongst all these times. We have also a major announcement coming up in the next couple of days. So perhaps, you know what? I've been given the word that we can tell you first. You'll be the first to hear it. Days of Tales 3 is happening. We are going to be raising money for the Immigrant Defenders Law Center. So come on by. It's going to be a weekend of nonstop games, nonstop stories and panels. So you can come on by. We'll give a proper announcement in the coming days. But yeah, come on by and for good calls. Yeah. Oh, I cast the voice of God for people who want to sign up. Our cast sheet should be out by tomorrow. So keep on the lookout for that on our socials. That's the hope. If not, probably sometime this week. So yeah, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching the show. And just as a player here, I love all of y'all. Y'all have told an awesome story. We've told an awesome story together, and I hope that we can get together and tell some more, because in times like these, creating and telling stories and art is very, very important. So let's raid somebody. I think we're raiding someone. I don't know who. Sword and Key, we're raiding them. So
They're
thanks for everybody
playing
for coming on
Baldur's
by.
Gate 3, having a chill little time. They call it a
Ooh,
gate
yeah.
night.
I see the
I
vision.
get it.
I see the
get
vision.
it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do indeed see the vision. Love y'all. Bye.
Always remember to tell your tales, everyone. Goodbye.
Evolution is inevitable. It is a gift granted by nature itself. Homo mutatis is not the future, it is the now. Mutant kind is an inescapable reality that refuses to be denied. You have tried time and time again to show demonstrations of your power, and each time we have allowed this game to continue. But now you have overstepped. You have seen only glimpses of ours, but soon you will witness our true response. M Factor and the United Future Foundation offered you peace and a chance for common ground. We will not give you the same offer. We are here for you, for us, for all kind. You will accept us,